Hello everyone, my name's Brewkirk, you can call me Brew, and you join me on board this very stealthy cockpit because we have an exciting video for you today. More testing, more science, and it's the back of our live stream on the stealth bomber, the Eclipse. Let's just have a look at it, shall we, because I can't really bob my head when I'm in the cockpit. Here we are inside this magnificent bomber vessel. Just look at it in its glory. It's amazing. But I need to keep the introduction short today because we have a test for science. This video needs to be, well, 30-35 minutes exactly, depending upon how long the intros and summaries go, because I am going to want to spend a bit of time breaking down the figures. We are going to take the stealth bomber out for 15 minutes, okay? And then we're going to test how many things we can kill, specifically ERT bounty hunting targets, right? Because I want to see how much money you can realistically make in the Eclipse in 3.17.1. And I haven't perfected the run and gun style. I haven't perfected any of that stuff. I've had a couple of practice at it. Sometimes I miss, sometimes I don't. So we're going to review some spreadsheets and charts at the end of the video, but I will run a clock on the screen. I will run a money count on the screen. I will start off by doing 3 individual ERTs and then a group ERT, and I'll try and get that done in 15 minutes. It's going to be tight. Then what I'm going to do is take out my preferred bounty hunting ship of 3.17.1 lately. It might be a surprise, and we're going to do VHRTs for it for 15 minutes. And you might be saying, well, Brew, surely the Eclipse is going to win out because it's doing the bigger target. Well, we've got to reload the Eclipse, and we've got to restock the Eclipse. So there's time and cost there. I still think the Eclipse is going to come out top, but you have to get your torps hitting perfectly. If you take a miss, that is a big drop in profits per run. The Eclipse has 3 size 9 torpedoes. So I'm watching my clock. We were running at about 2 minutes for this introduction. I won't be editing any of this. You need to see the real time it takes. Unless there's a balls up, I'll pause, I'll cut, I'll bring you back in after where we would have left up if I didn't crash or something. But the balls ups are important as well because that will affect your overall hourly aUEC earning rate. So we're not going to jump cut. We're going to go right back into the cockpit. We're going to load up our bounties. You have to earn reputation to get up to the ERT, and you can check your reputation down here in Delphi. I'm currently in Crusader, and you can see I've got the master tracker up there. Where are we at? So we're about 3 minutes into the recording. Okay, so ERT mission, let's accept it. We're only going to be killing the hammerheads, but we'll take call to arms just to have. Now the ERTs, I think, should give 30,000 plus. So we're going to start the official time from when we get into the belt, because we're still in our introduction time, which isn't too bad. Now, half the problem is getting around these bloody, or getting to these bloody moons, because Crusader Gas Giant is so large and it's in the way. I want to try and keep it looking cool as well by giving you lots of lovely cinematics. Okay, we're back. We are armed. There are 3 size 9 torpedoes, and we'll start the clock now at 30 minutes into the recording. But for you, it will be a fraction of that. So again, I'm going to go full speed, and then I'm going to start reducing my speed. Well, I'll probably start reducing at about 12 kilometers or so. Okay, so let's bring that down to 600 meters per second. There's our hammerhead. Increase the speed a little bit. Start targeting at around 6 or 7. And I'm going to let the missile away. We're in atmosphere, so I'm going to aim above it. I'm going to let it away at about 3 now. I'm trying to get a cinematic shot. It deployed flares. Okay. So that has not gone well. So that's going to eat into our profits massively. We'll try it again. And I'll wait even closer before I detonate. In we go. We can detonate up to 1 kilometer. Get closer. Launch. And not crash into it. So there we go. We killed it. But now we're massively down in profits. We need to get the heck out of Dodge. You'll see the cost coming up at the top. Or the rewards, 30,000. Deploying our own decoys. And we accept the next mission. VHRT. Not VHRT, sorry. I'm so used to doing VHRTs. That's my normal go-to. ERT. So, I messed up there. An ERT isn't coming up. So, if you just jump to another planet, say, for example, or moon, yellow, usually that'll give time for the ERT to reset. That's really poor. That's really poor on me. So that was 2 minutes now. Again, there'll be lots of chat in the comments about, you know, how to stop that hammerhead deploying those decoys. Maybe we're coming in too fast. I don't know. But that can eat into your profits. If you get the hits every time, it's really, really good. But I'm just sort of showing you the reality. So this is a problem as well. It's eating into our time. The ERT is just not spawning. So I tend to just jump around a little bit to get it to spawn. I'm trying to show you a real-world version of what it's like inside the Eclipse. For me, anyway, you'll have Eclipse pilots that can dumbfire missiles in that they don't need a lock. And usually the NPCs won't fire off decoys, if that's the case. I have all the respect for you guys. So, the server's just having an issue this morning. But this is the reality of it. If the ERTs aren't going to spawn, you know, we're trying to see how much money we can make in 15 minutes. I'm going to need to take a different mission. There we go, finally. So, I'm a little bit worked up because of the mistake I made about rearming missiles. So, I'm a little bit impatient and I'm a little bit agitated. But give it a minute or two and that ERT will pop up. But it's all eating into our time. We started at 30 minutes into the recording, as I said. So, I don't know if we're going to actually be able to get multiple sets of bounties. But let's try this again. So, we're down to 1 missile now. And we're about 3.5 minutes into our time. 30,000 has been made in 3.5 minutes. You gotta always minus your 12 off that. So in theory, really, only 18,000 has been made. Because you gotta pay for your missiles. Okay, let's go in, let's go in, let's go in. So start slowing down at this point. About 600 or so I'm gonna do. There we go. There's our hammerhead. I'm not gonna mess about with the camera this time. Start targeting locking. We've been targeted. That's a full lock and launching. Looks good. He's not deploying decoys. That was a kill. Trying to get a cool shot, but we'll do it when we're a bit more relaxed. So there's another 30,000, and we're out of missiles. So that's 60,000 minus 12. That's 58,000. Don't know what that noise is now. The Eclipse, sometimes I notice you get noise bugs in it, and it's really disappointing because it's a pain in the arse. But other ships do it as well. I didn't see our money come through there, but I'm pretty sure we got the money, right? I'll double check that when I look back at the footage. Yeah, so we've got this annoying bug, so we need to get out of the ship. It might just be my game. No, it's the actual ship itself is bugged, like we had the other day. What is it with me recording, and then the ship's bugging out? Oh no, it's actually my game. It's my character is having this noise bug. So I'm gonna... this recording is absolutely fantastic. This is hilarious, this recording session. But I'm not going to cut this out. I'm not going to go and do it all again and give you a fantastic, you know, oh, this is amazing. Oh, this is so much fun. You know, this is the reality, and this is why I hope you watch my videos. You get the honest truth. And this is pissing me off, this session. But that's the nature of a pre-alpha game. If you get out of the wrong side of the bed, and it gets out of the wrong side of the bed, you're going to butt heads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, unfortunately, have to mute the audio. There you go, and mute it on my end so we don't have to hear that absolute beeping BS, because this is all stuff going into like how much money you can make. Now if you have a perfect run where you don't have pilot errors like I made with the rearming, and you don't have issues with the sound, there's no way you could bounty hunt, you know, 2 hours or whatever with that going off. You'd have to relog, but relog takes time. So we got to store the ship, we got to log off, we got to log back in, we got to call the ship, we got to get on the ship. So I'm not doing that. So we're just going to see, you know, how much we can do in these 15 minutes. So at the minute, I didn't see the reward coming through for that last kill. I'm hoping it did. If it did, we are on 60 total, minus 12, we're on 58,000. And that was about 4 minutes ago. No, 6 minutes ago, because we're on 90 minutes recording. See how bad it is to miss a shot? So really, we should actually be up in the high 80s. Yeah, 60, no, yeah, so 40, yeah, so 60 minus 12,000 for the repairs is actually, yeah, 48,000. If we had another 30, that would be 78,000. More pilot error because I'm frustrated. But this is the thing as well, like, you see a lot of videos saying 500,000 an hour with the Eclipse, 500,000 plus. Okay, I think it probably is possible, but everything has to go perfect. You have to be a wizard with the Eclipse, of which I am absolutely not. Which is hopefully, you know, where some of you maybe are thinking, I'm going to save up for an Eclipse and I buy it on day one, and I'm going to get, you know, over 1 million or over 500,000 per hour. I just think unless you've got this innate ability with the ship to be awesome with it, so there's the 10,000, but I'm using 12 just to cover any other costs. That's not going to be the case. I think realistically, what's going to happen is, so we're 20 minutes into the recording. I started the timer at 13 minutes in, so 7 minutes. We've got 48,000. I think over 15 minutes, on a bad day, you'll just about make 100,000. Off we go again. On a good day, you could probably make 150. So what that does mean is 300,000 per half an hour. Yeah, you are talking, there's a 600,000 mark, but then you got to counter all sorts of nonsense into that, or count 4. I think realistically, you probably do about 400,000, 300 to 400,000 in this per hour. If you make all your shots and you're absolute whiz and you've got that technique down, share it in the chat. But I think, let me just see if that beeping is still there, guys. I'm really sorry. But hopefully you'll be fine with just my wonderful voice. And I could, as I said, I could cut all this out and do a different test and keep on doing it until I get good results. But what's the point of a test? You know, what's the point of me fudging that experience? This is the experience. I've just logged on today, picked up my Eclipse, gone out and tried to make money on it. An experience you might have similarly. I'm not, you know, I'm not putting this ship down. I'm just saying this is the reality. You will have days where just it all goes wrong for you. You'll have other days where you make every shot. You know, you get your kills in 3 minutes. You do your refuel in 2 minutes. You know, which is possible. You'll be laughing. This just doesn't seem to be one of those days. So if I make this kill in the next 30 seconds, that will be exactly 10 minutes. And the profit will be sitting at 78,000. It's not as you know, add an extra 1,000 to that because I round up the expenses. So 80,000, shall we say? The profit will be 80,000 in 10 minutes. If I make all these kills, we're looking at that 100,000 plus mark over 15. So here we go. 10 seconds until we hit the 10-minute mark, roughly. I'm going to reduce my speed. It's so odd not playing with sound. I feel I've lost like a full sense of what's going on. And I didn't check. Always check that your missiles have reloaded before leaving PO. Now, the asteroids are tricky because they could be inside asteroids. They could be hiding behind asteroids. I think this one's in front of that asteroid. So we're going to slow up. We're going to slow up. We've got the lock. We've got the lock and launching. That might be too far away and too tight an angle. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now that gets rid of some of my frustration. That gets rid of some of my agony. 30 seconds over the 10-minute mark. We have another 30,000. Lovely, 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 lovely. So let's just say we made 50 in that last run. So we're now on 80,000 over 10 minutes. Okay, beautiful. Let's get the next ERT. Hopefully one spawns in nice and quick. It hasn't, so we'll do the same trick. We'll just jump to a marker, get out of the combat zone so we don't take any damage. But yeah, we'll say we're sitting roughly on 80,000 profit at the minute for about 11 minutes roughly, if I'm working this all right. I'm just looking at like my recording time. Of course, when I edit this, I may not be saying the right figures. The figures on screen will be the most accurate. So keep an eye on them. I'll probably put it in one of the corners of the screen for you. and the profit amount, still nothing there. So I'm just going to jump around a little bit and try and force it. It'll not be me jumping. It's just an old ritual. You know, it's like an old... it's time. It's time-based, so the bounty will come back after a certain amount of time. And this is the argument for group ERTs, because when you get the 3, you don't have to do what I'm doing. But as you can see, just because the way I bounty hunt with VHRTs and in previous patches, if one of the group targets messed up, you didn't get paid. So you'd kill 2 targets, which killing them manually ERTs would be worth, you know, that's 60,000. If one of them, the last one, messed up, you wouldn't get paid. So you're out 60 grand and you're down maybe, you know, 5 minutes or whatever investment time. So I probably don't have the license for group. Oh, that's a pretty cool shot. We'll go back to that in a second. I don't have the license for group at the minute. I think I have to do one of those here, so I won't be showing you that in today's video because I want this to be as real as possible. So ERT, let me just get that shot back because that was... oh, well, that's a pretty cool shot too. That's a very cool shot. Might do that as the thumbnail. Okay, here we go. Whereabouts is it? It is... now, this is a problem. Some of the ERTs are atmospheric, but their positions are a pain in the arse. Again, this is where things... you know, there's no real close shelters, so we'll click that one. But that's part of it. I'm showing you the raw, uncut version of what to expect. We're running at 13 minutes, so our 15 minutes is nearly up. I'm going to go over that a little bit. There's someone flying around us. Just so we can dump 6 sets of missiles, if you will. So it'll probably be 16, 17 minutes in the Eclipse. As I say, chat to me in the comments about your techniques for guaranteeing those kills. But my experience is lock on at the very last minute, fire at the last minute tends to do the job to avoid the NPCs firing off decoys. This is going to eat into our time massively because the top speed of the Eclipse is not massive. Some might say abandon the ERT. I don't know if that causes rep issues, but I'm not going to abandon and then wait around for another one to come up. So this is going to eat into our time massively, and we've still got 2 missiles left to fire. Oh, I could take a bit of a breath now as we fly to our target again in the dark side. I think we're moving into the sunrise, so that's quite nice. Oh, how are you all keeping? Let's just see if the beeping's still there. No, the beeping's gone, guys, so I can bring the game sounds back. That's cool. Hey, there we go. The nice... it felt weird not having the game sounds, right? It felt very, very weird. So 13 minutes, 10 is 23, and then another 5 is 28. So we're hitting the 15-minute mark very, very soon. But there's the sunrise coming up in this majestic game. I say majestic now that I've just let my blood pressure cool a bit, my heart rate cool a bit, the frustration ease out of my bones. There's me in the cockpit seat. But see, every time I do try and do one of these, I would just love to give you a perfect run. Obviously, I want to, you know, it'd be very cool to show you it just working. But that's not always going to be the case. It's not this time. It hasn't just worked this time. And I'm sorry for that, because a lot of the times it will just work for you. It will work really, really well. So you'll get your hits on target. You'll not make a balls up like me. You'll remember to restock your missiles. You won't be frustrated with getting jump points. Your target won't be 200 kilometers from the nearest position. You know, because I think when I get into this mode of thinking, I don't know if you're the same as me, I'm all about efficiency. You know, if I'm going to sit down and spend 3 hours of my evening to try and save up for a new ship for you guys, you know, so I can review it, or just even for myself, I'm working towards a bigger ship. You know, this costs $3.5 million plus, so it's, you know, it's a big investment. I get into an efficiency mode. So it's less about the fun of the interaction of blowing up big ships. I mean, that's cool in itself. Blowing up hammerheads with one shot, that is awesome. But I'm in efficiency mode, and then everything ranks up. And every little mistake and every little delay, for me, eats into my profit margins of time, you know, over money earned. And it just grinds at me. It grinds at me. So we're at the, you know, we're over the 15-minute mark I think, by a good little bit. So in 15 minutes, due to balls ups and things, mistakes I've made, we're looking at about 80,000 profit. Okay, if we had made our shot with the other torp, you know, that would have been at the 110, 100,000 profit. So I think you can really realistically expect every 15 minutes to get 100,000. That's 400,000. It's getting close to the $500,000 per hour. I would knock 100,000. I would say you're guaranteed to get 300,000 unless there's actual server issues, like getting logged out or kicked out. So I think you can rely on the Eclipse earning you that. I think if you have a perfect run and you really, you know, nail hitting those hammerheads, that over 500,000 is something that's on the table, but you have to be on it and you have to be go, 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 go. And maybe you don't want that level of anxiety. I don't know. So I'm trying to find this is a terrible position to be in. There's the hammerhead. Let's target lock it. I find I do a lot worse on atmospherics. I don't know. Deploy decoys. We've got a confirmed target lock, but we're probably locking onto the hammerhead for too long. We're approaching too slow. So I'm trying to release at the last minute. Release now. And I tend to fire at it a little bit just to see if it focuses on me as opposed to the torp. You can see the torp coming in, and boom! Beautiful kill. So there's another, it's 30,000. Let's hope that comes in. Let's take a look at the top of the screen as we blast away from the bounty site. 30,000. Excellent. Yeah. So we were a wee bit over the 15-minute mark, but that's, you know, absolutely, we're at plus 100,000. You know, that's why I'm saying you could guarantee yourself, even with balls ups, that you're going to make over 300,000 per hour with the Aegis Eclipse. I don't know, I get really frustrated when I take a miss. Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe like, oh, well, we've missed. It's okay. We'll get the next one. I personally don't think that way. I beat myself up. I'm like, you fool, you missed the fucking shot. So, I don't know. If you're easier on yourself, maybe that won't matter as much. We'll do one more just so I can get a cool shot, maybe of it exploding. And see, this time, no problem. This time the ERT came up nice and quick. So again, if you get lucky and those ERTs are chaining, you're getting them nice and quick. And now we've got one that we can jump directly to. This is what I'm saying. If the perfect storm comes in and everything just works, I think you're breaking the 500,000 mark. So fair play to those videos that cover that. However, I've shown you the reality of what can happen. Pilot error, delays, missed shots, all sorts of stuff can eat into those profit margins. There's no way I could guarantee you that you're going to make 500,000 with an Eclipse every hour that you fly it. No way. Because even if you're the best pilot in the world, there's going to be travel times. There's going to be issues that you face. This is a terrible place for our last kill because there's no light, which I'm kind of frustrated about. So I might take it out again, and you know, and get a better shot. But anyway, sorry, I'm digressing. So we're approaching the target. Still no sign of them yet on radar, which is interesting. I spoke too soon. I gave Star Citizen too much credit too soon. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So they didn't spawn in anywhere near the right time. And I've got a comms bug, which I should have changed. That's my mistake. Should have changed that MFD. So there's the hammerhead. I think if I shoot this... So they haven't target locked me because I haven't heard the radar ping. I think if I shoot at this hammerhead just now, I won't get the cash. I'm pretty sure I won't. Yeah, see the way the last known position... There we go. Now I will. So let's target lock up. We can go up to 1,000 meters. Decoys of our own. Decoys of our own. Okay, and firing. And we'll just... There we go, there we go. But I've been badly damaged. So that was interesting. I've come across that before. Let's talk about it as we go rearm and repair. Excuse me. And then what I'll do is I'll do a separate recording. It'll all be in one video for you, but I'll go and review the footage and do the breakdown of the costs and things like that. So when I approached there, a couple of things happened. First, it took ages for them to physically spawn in. When they did, the blue rhombus that says this is your target, that marker, was on the ground, not on the ship. That's happened to me before. So, not only do you have to wait until they spawn, and if you notice the hammerhead was a white target until it turned red, you have to wait till it turns red, so that's a commonly known knowledge. But in addition to that, oh, there's my poor wings gone. Lol, okay, well, we're not getting any good thumbnails with that. But in addition to that, we had to wait until the blue target marker, can't speak today. Okay, well, I can never speak, so that's nothing new. The blue target marker jumped from the ground onto the hammerhead. Then they targeted me. Then I knew, right, we're in. We're going to get paid for this. Because I've done a couple of ERTs where I actually killed the hammerhead. So I've done 2 of them. Blew it up. I didn't miss or anything like that. I didn't get paid. And the marker was still sitting on the ground saying, oh, the target is like... It was almost as if the target was in the shelter, in the bunker. And that's the first time I've been able to get paid when that bug happened. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for contacting. So if you see that happening, just wait. Of course, it's cost us a wing, which means we're probably up at the 3,000 repair mark or so. We'll see in just a second. But yeah, we've been running, so 13 minutes. It's now 35 into the recording. So 10... Yeah, so 20 minutes in the Eclipse. And we've earned over, even with repairs, I would say we've earned well over 100,000. I'll give a a breakdown of the cost when I review the footage. Of course, I landed in the right place. But see, this is the other thing, guys. This sort of silliness. So I can fuel repair, get out in 2 minutes, in 120 seconds, no problem. But when this stuff happens, and maybe it's me, maybe I was too busy talking and landed at the wrong place. But this takes time too. So this is what I'm saying. Perfect storms. Absolute. Okay, maybe I was too busy talking. I'm pretty sure it was not this, but anyway, okay, whatever. Perfect storms over 500,000. I think if you want to be realistic with yourself, you'll average at 300, maybe 350,000. Everything else is just a bonus. So if you're saying, right, how long will it take me to grind out for X ship? If you're putting a spreadsheet or whatever together. See, here we go again. No, I'm not blocking an active flight bay. I absolutely fucking went to where you told me to. You ball ache. You aching ball sack. But anyway, sorry, we're repaired. So, that is the Eclipse portion of our video. And isn't it just a beautiful ship regardless? But off the back of our stream, I thought, I feel like taking the Eclipse out again. Talking it through. Let me know your thoughts. No doubt you're going to come down on me heavily with all the sorts of different things I was doing, and that's fine. That's what we're here for. I'm here to get your feedback, for me to be a better pilot, and in doing so, you will make other pilots better through your suggestions. But hopefully this has been a gloves off, unpolished look at what, if everything goes wrong in the Eclipse, how much money you can make. We're going to take out another ship now, and we're going to apply the same treatment. This video is not going to be 30 minutes. There we go. It's me. You shouldn't have believed me at the start. We're going to take out another ship that I like to do VHRTs in, and we're going to apply the same method. 15 minutes doing VHRTs. How much money can we make? I'll review the footage, get my spreadsheets out, and we'll talk about it at the end. But yes, the Eclipse, nothing on you, my friend. My lovely stealth bomber, nothing on you. All me in the game. Mostly me ballsing up this video. But hey, no pilot can be perfect, and I'm far from it. All right, let's take out our other ship, and we'll start the timer. Okay, you may think me mad, and if you don't care about what this ship can do with VHRTs in 15 minutes, use the timestamps in the description to jump to the summary where we'll look at the overall figures for the Eclipse. But I'm using this as a test to see are VHRTs spamming better than ERTs. We'll see. And yes, my favorite ship is this little Miss Razor to bounty hunt at the minute. I keep coming back to it. They can't hit me. I can hit them. It's super fast. I never need to worry about repairing or rearming. Anyway, we're about to hit the 43-minute mark. Can you believe it? It'll not be that for you because I'll be cutting some of that other trash where I messed up. But let's see what we can do in 15 minutes with VHRTs versus ERTs. We don't need to calculate for any costs. The repair thing cost on this is nothing. It doesn't factor into... If I kill one of the additional support fighters, the call to arms will pay that for me. I'm going to try my very best to complete these as quickly as humanly possible. It depends if we get size shield 2 bugs. It depends on lots of stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. So we started at 43 minutes into the recording. Let's just go in and start whaling them. Now, of course, this is all about 3.17.1, where these bugs and annoyances are part of the game we're playing. So the size 2 shield bugs are part of it. So I have to dump. The only thing about the Mist Razor, right, is that its decoys is really low. Its decoy stock is really low. You don't have a lot of decoys. Again, forgot to change that middle MFD, so we're getting the feckin' comms bug on our targeting MFD. But good, the shield's gone down, so as long as the Hurricane stops hopping around, like you can see here. But that's part of the game. This is the raw deal. Okay, and I'm not a super ace Top Gun mega pilot, right? If you're watching me and you're like, I might be a bit crap, as in I brew or IV, this is kind of what you're going to have to expect. And I think it's quite nice to show the everyday pilot, not someone who's absolutely just on it with their shots and on it with everything. There we go, kill. Because you get a sort of real world experience. That's sort of, I've played the game for quite some time, but I've never really focused or harnessed my skills or practice. So 22,000 aUEC. And that was done in, even though I was chatting a minute, right? It was 44 I said we started at. Again, I'll go back over all this at the end. So if you just want to jump to the end and look at the summary, you can indeed. So 22... Off we go. We're getting lucky with our VHRT locations. They're in asteroids and things close by, which just saves on travel time. So all these things have to be factored in. The only thing I find about doing this is there's a couple of things. I feel a lot of pressure when I'm doing the Eclipse because I just need to nail that shot. My chest gets heavy. My breathing feels tight, and with this, although there's it's exciting in that you have to launch decoys and dodge stuff and all that jazz, I don't feel the same sort of pressure. Maybe it's just because I've done this type of thing for years now, which is just bounty hunting NPCs. I don't know. Brandon we're looking for. That's not Brandon. This must be Brandon here. Is that Brandon? Yeah, so we are getting unlucky in that we're getting hurricanes. Now in this size ship, I'm not worried about the aggressiveness of Valkyries because I can dodge them. So what I mean about it's unfortunate we're getting hurricanes is they're just, for me, harder to hit because obviously a Valkyrie is a bus. It's a dump truck compared to a hurricane. So I can land more of my shots on the Valkyrie and I can usually kill it much quicker. Just if you're curious, 2 size 2s on this. And the thing I like about the Mist Razor is that, well, first of all, its speeds, top speeds over the 1300 mark, which is just ridiculous. Its cross-section, its profile is tiny, so it's hard for the NPCs to land a hit on us. Its boost to stay on the target is great, so I can stay behind the Hurricane if I'm getting size 2 shield bugs and shoot the rear of the ship and kill it. And the clip size on those size 2 Badgers is good. I've changed out the drive. I've changed out, I think, the shields. It comes with stealth components, which I haven't bothered using. The only thing is the decoys. If this thing gets hit by a missile, you're toast, really. So the decoys are the thing that will slow us down and take us back into the fight. So that's now 44,000 profit. We're 47 minutes into the recording. Again, I think I said we started it. We'll say 43 minutes into the recording. So that is 4 minutes at 44,000 profit. So we're still probably behind the Eclipse if I'd been using my missiles correctly. But I can probably stay out here a lot longer. So we'll go 15 minutes. We said we'll do fighting VHRTs. So we'll go up to 58 minutes. So we have another 10 minutes to go. And even on a bad day, I said you could make 100,000 and 15 in the Eclipse. So that'll be our goal here. At the minute, we're in 44,000. Which I think we'll be able to meet as well on this. I think that you are going to just do better in the Eclipse in terms of time over money, but maybe you don't want that pressure, maybe you don't want that stress, maybe you thrive on that, maybe you want to become the best bomber in the game, and maybe you upgrade from the Eclipse to the Retaliator because you've got 6 torps in the Retaliator as opposed to 3 in the Eclipse. And that means you can stay out longer. So, that could be something. Because we're not using stealth at all. Or we didn't in the first half of the video with the Eclipse. See, that's the problem. I'm dumping decoys, which I don't have. I don't know where this missile... I'm seeing on the radar the missile is nowhere near me. Yeah, sometimes that radar gives a false positive. So I probably used more decoys than I needed to. So realistically, I should now go back and rearm to avoid, you know, getting shot by a missile. And this is just, this missile warning is false. Look at the radar. There we go. Now it's off. So a bit of a panic there. Dumped too many decoys. But getting hit with a missile in the ship is not an option. But look how quickly we killed that Vanguard in a tiny little ship. So we're now up to 66,000. All the figures on screen will be more accurate than my narration because I'm trying to do a million things at once here. But I think we're roughly on 66. I'm going to chance it with only one decoy left. We'll see if that was wise or not. This video could become a lot shorter, a lot quicker. Again, I'm getting lucky. All of the bounties are around the asteroid fields of yellow. Now, this is the way it used to be before, can't speak. Before the atmospheric bounties came in, and this was the best place in the system to bounty hunt, was around yellow. Just, this was the best place, because you would hop around yellow, bounty after bounty after bounty after bounty. It was fantastic. I don't like atmospherics. That's just because I'm an old grouch that used to bounty hunt in my asteroids. Give me my asteroids back. But I mean, they're nice in terms of, you know, an experience and stuff, but I'm doing this video now in money earning mode, and that's why I don't like them. In appreciating the game, different sceneries and all that sort of mode, you know, the atmospherics are lovely because it gives you a change of scenery. But as the grinder that I am, because I like to grind out stuff in games, I want the most efficient route. And if you've already skipped on, you'll not be hearing this. That's fair, because it is titled an Eclipse money-making video, but I just wanted to give you that comparison so you could see VHRT versus ERT. In terms of ERTs, a bomber of some description is just the only way to go. 600 eyes used to be able to snipe hammerheads very quickly, and it was more of a guaranteed kill, because the 600 eyes M7A cannons, sorry, I'm not even paying attention, I'm not even shooting properly. The 600 eyes M7A cannons could outrange the hammerheads, even though there were a lot of them, size 4 Rhino laser repeaters. So the Rhinos sort of started to fall off just over 1,800 meters. 246, so what's that now? We're on 88 or something like that? No, so this is the problem. I'm low on flares. I just deployed some noise. So we do need to go back and refuel our decoys, so let's do that. And then, as I said, we'll go up to the 58-minute mark. What was I talking about? Yeah, so the 600 eyes M7As could outrange the hammerheads Rhinos. So what you could actually do is deal with the ads, and the 600 eyes 3 M7As, no problem, back then. Deal with the ads, and then get away from the hammerhead. If your shields have gone down a little bit because of you know, dealing with the ads or whatever, get away, reinforce your forward shield, and then you would just draw the hammerhead in and reverse thrust back out and keep it at around the 2,000 mark, because your guns hit confidently at the 2,000 meters. In theory, they could go as high as 2-3, and a target as big as the hammerhead, that could work, but even 2,000 meters was fine. And you could, in effect, snipe the hammerhead without it even touching you. The problem is now, which it always was in a degree, is the 600i can get swarmed very easily. So fast ships like the Hurricane, Buccaneer, Gladius, you know, even to an extent, the Warden and now the Valkyrie, because they seem to be very agile, which is a bit strange. You would get swarmed. But if you have a lot of practice in your 600i, you can counter the swarms, get those hits off very, very quickly. You know, just angle the ship in such a way where you're making your hits onto the targets and blow up the ads with minimal issues. The problem now is that for that tactic to work with the M7A laser size 5 laser cannons, is that your shots need to register, because it's so difficult to get the shots on, because the 600i moves like it is the space whale. So if we're having size 2 shield issues and those M7As aren't registering as hitting, so the shield is becoming invulnerable or whatever it is, you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed. So you're spending ages fighting fighting these escorts, the Hammerheads, the Wardens, and the Valkyries. All the while, the Hammerhead is chasing you. Hurricanes, Valkyries, and Wardens, sorry. The Hammerhead's chasing you. Your shields, because you're a massive target, are getting shredded. Because I think size 3 shields, they need to do something with them. They used to be too OP, but now I think they've been nerfed quite heavily. But anyway, that's just me. We'd probably get 2 more kills if we're lucky at the 15-minute mark for this. So that's a real problem. So I'm going to try the 600i against the ERTs again to see how I go. Because it used to be just so good for spamming those missions. I'm more guaranteed kills than the Eclipse because they're lasers. You have all the ammo in the world, and if you had the tactics sound, you could snipe the Hammerhead off you go. It took a bit longer, obviously. Maybe add only really an extra minute, 2-minute kill time, but you could stay out there all day long. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that now because of these intermittent shield issues with the NPCs, but ships that have size 2 shields. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that little anecdote about my past bounty hunting experiences. So because of that, at the minute, I think the Eclipse and the Retaliator are some of the best ERT spamming ships out there because of the one-shot size 9 torpedoes. If you're into that career type as a bomber, you'll have that approach nailed to avoid the countermeasures coming in. But to be fair, we shot off 6 torpedoes in this video. We only missed 1. That's not too bad a ratio. So if you miss 1 in every 6, I don't think that's too bad. And I still think you're going to hit that 300,000 per hour minimum. More likely the 400 mark. If you're ace and everything's going your way, you can make over 500,000. The VHRTs aren't going to hit those sorts of figures. The VHRTs are about 300,000. We're about to hit our 15-minute mark in this little ship. I got too overzealous with my decoys, so we wasted time going and rearming. But if, you know, I'm a bit nicer or less trigger happy on my decoys, or I try and manually dodge the missiles, which is easier to do when I'm not like narrating and talking about what I'm doing. Again, comms bug. This is a wee Warden. Usually easier to kill if we just get our shots on target and it doesn't dance and jitter and jump. A lot of jittering and jumping, so 1 decoy is enough there. I've been a bit braver and not spammed loads of decoys. Really frustrating with that comms bug. I'm not hitting a lot of my shots because I'm looking at the MFDs and talking to you guys. Sorry, we're going to have a collision there. You know, a lot of you are saying, Brew, look at the ship that you're using. Seriously? The biggest thing I find the issue with at the minute is you just get swarmed and they start blasting you and wrecking any of the larger ships. I like this ship because I just don't need to really worry about that. As long as I'm being somewhat maneuverable. 1 decoy. There we go. Yeah, being more vigilant on my decoy use. You know, and I've gotten so addicted to quick ships. So addicted. So my card wallet is bugged, so I'm going to need to do a character reset after this weekend stream. But I want to try the 80B4s or whatever, the 21,000 that time. So even if we say 20s, we're at the... We have one. Can we do 1 in 1 minute? We're at roughly the 80,000 mark in 15. Roughly. Again, after this last segment, this last kill, I will... yeah, now we've got unlucky. We have to go to another planet. So we're going to be over the 15. But again, we gave the Eclipse slightly over 15 minutes. So we'll do the same for this ship. But yeah, I want to get the cartridge wall out and put the size 4 ballistic cannons on them. But my cartridge wall is bugged. And I'm also going to do a video showing you where to buy them. There's some really good suggestions in the chat because the Gatlings are... Well, on Urkel. I bought an Area 18, but the elevator that takes you to the shop is apparently bugged. I haven't seen it myself. We'll do that for the video. But there's some suggestions that you can get it inside the Crusader showroom. I've never visited that, so it'd be a good time for us to visit there together in a video, but also to show people where and how and all that sort of jazz. So we'll do that in the next video. Yeah, so we're just going over the 15-minute mark for our VHRTs in our little Razor stealth racing interceptor ship, whatever you want to call it. It's my go-to choice at the moment. I can literally stay out here for 3 hours in this thing. If I'm a bit more... Again, if I'm a bit more cautious in using my flares. And we have the same sort of issue we had last time with the Eclipse, in that the closest jump location, it's a bit closer. It's 130, I think we were 200 kilometers out. But we are in a very fast ship. Look at that top speed. We are in a very fast ship. So we're going to get to it much quicker. Still a waste of time, but hey ho, there you go. It's not to say one is better than the other, because you're going to get different experiences from each ship, each bounty. Some people do ERTs in 317.1 in like Sentinels and Wardens. I need to try that out. And it'd be good to hear, you know, what do you use? I'll ask the question again in the summary in case you've skipped this part. You know, but what ship do you use, and what bounties do you do? Do you jump into the ERTs because you're inevitably going to make more money? And how do you get the quick kill time so that VHRTs don't mathematically work out better? That's my question. For me, I like to relax in the evenings. I have quite a stressful day job, you know, so I just do VHRTs personally. I did it after the Eclipse stream, a couple of evenings of Eclipse work, but I just found myself getting back into my little ships. I tried out the Warden there with the Ballistic for a bit, which was fun. But I love this ship because the NPCs just can barely touch me. I'm slippery. I'm fast and slippery. So I like that fact. I can just, yeah, I've got small little guns, but if I scratch away at them at the, you know, as the annoying little bug that I am in this little ship, they go down, and the kill times aren't massively different. All right, last fight, last kill, and then I'll review all the footage, and we'll get back to our summary of the statistics, and I'll summarize that for you. Who are we killing? Donnie. Donnie is a Hurricane. Of course, we just finished off with a little Hurricane. The absolute... There, I say one decoy was enough there. I just need to... I get... Because the warning takes a minute to update, I get a little bit too panicky. So I just need to trust in that one decoy is enough for this tiny ship to deflect those missiles off and send them careening after the decoy. Oh, that was such a quick kill. See, that's the way it should be when everything's working. Beautiful. Ridiculously beautiful. So there we have it. That is... Yeah... Probably again about the 20-minute mark, and I think we've popped 100,000 plus. You know, so that's why I'm saying 300,000. 20-minute mark, 20. That's more realistic, which isn't too bad. You know, so you're making, you know, in an evening if you're playing for 3 hours, you're making just under a mil, over a mil if you're really pushing it. Okay. Let's jump to the summary then and look at all the figures of what we've captured today and come to a final conclusion. But thank you so much for putting up with me and these live cuts. Usually I do cut a lot of this stuff out, but I can't do that in a time trial because that wouldn't be fair on you. Wow, what a visual we have here. So I'll see you back at our command ship, and we'll go over the figures on the board. Back in a moment, everyone. Hello everyone and welcome back, and here we are at the final summary of the figures from today's experiments. Yes, this is not the Brew Crew command ship Carrick, it's currently in the shop. So you join me here on the pirate asteroid base of Grimhex. We're going to go through the figures. Let's start off with the Eclipse. So over 20 minutes and 30 seconds before costs, we made 150,000 aUEC. In 20 minutes and 30 seconds. And we made 5 of our 6 torpedo shots. That's going to be important. Alright, so 150,000 aUEC in 20 minutes and 30 seconds. Minus our 2 rearms that we needed to do takes us down to 128,361. Now, if we'd made this shot, okay, we could add 30,000 to that. So that would have taken us back up to nearly 160,000 aUEC before cost or after costs. Ugh, maths is hard. Okay. And if we hadn't come across that 200-kilometer travel, we could knock, say, roughly 4 minutes off that time. So realistically, inside your Eclipse, if you make your shots and everything works, you're earning roughly about 160,000 aUEC every 15 or so minutes. And if we expand that out, that is, well, 600,000 per hour, isn't it? 150,000 times 4. Math is hard. Ugh. So we are actually able to, realistically, in a sense, make that much money, over the 500,000 in your Eclipse per hour. But if I'm honest, I miss my shots. I come across all sorts of issues where I have to travel longer to get to an ERT site, or there's issues, there's bugs, or I make mistakes. So realistically, or if you want to say the brew realism, I think what to expect on average is actually that amount of 128,361. Let's round it up to 130,000 per 20 minutes. So, if my maths is doing it correctly in my brain, that actually works out per hour. I need to think this through. Carry the one. So, what's that? Just under 400,000 aUEC per hour, I think, is a realistic amount, barring any server issues, guaranteed for your Eclipse. So, anywhere between 400,000 to 600,000 per hour, I think, is a safe bet. Your baseline is the 400. If we compare that with our little Risk Mazer, I can't speak today. Our MISC Razor, and doing VHRTs, it made in 17 minutes 22 seconds 131,000. So that's very interesting. Basically getting 20,000 every 2 to 3 minutes. So if we made one more kill, we would be at the 150,000 for 20 minutes. And that would then average out at 450,000 per hour. So the Eclipse, if everything's working, has a much greater potential for profit earned, but gets punished heavily when things aren't working out. Pilot error, missed shots, just issues, travel issues, all sorts of stuff. The VHRTs in the right ship, if you can kill your targets between 2 to 3 minutes, will give you perhaps, for some, a more relaxing, steady income. But yes, the Eclipse, realistically, I would say, can earn 500,000 per hour. Fantastic. In my hands, 400,000. But anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. It has been a deep analysis, deep dive. I've enjoyed making it because I've wanted to compare these figures for a very, very long time. If you're watching this video on the day that it's published, we have a giveaway stream special this weekend. We haven't done one in ages. And we're giving away 3 top prizes to folks who join this stream, and at a certain point in the stream, call out the Brew Crew. So there is the third place prize, which is 1 million aUEC. The second is 2 million aUEC. And the third is 3 million aUEC. A total of 6 million being given away across 3 pilots. And thank you to those members of the Brew Crew who've donated into that bank of money to help support pilots and on their mission to get the ships they love. Thank you for joining me in this video. If you're watching this in the future, don't worry, there will be more giveaways to come. But if you're watching this on the date of publish, yes, Saturday live stream, that will be Saturday the, if I find my calculator, my calendar, that will be Saturday the 25th, going into Sunday the 26th, 11:30 p.m. UTC. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've enjoyed making it. I hope you're having a great week, a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.